Outdoor music festivals are all the rage this summer. And if you head to a thrift store, you can find some great, affordable purchases that'll be fashionable and take you from festivals and beyond. I picked up this tribal-inspired crossbody bag at a local thrift store. It's pretty cool, right?
I love it.
Now, obviously, you can just sling it around your body, but I feel like we can do more.
We can definitely do more. I love this bag. I love the beading on it. I love that you could just throw something in here, throw it over your shoulder, no problem. You don't have to hassle with it. It's also reversible, I see, so you can go either way with this bag.
Options, options.
Another option that you have is to tie it on the top, so it kind of becomes a shoulder bag now instead of a shoulder bag.
Okay.
So you can throw this back on.
Thank you.
To spice up this outfit, however, we can add a couple accessories, which we just love doing. We have this gorgeous necklace that we can pop on you. Here. My best friend. Oh, you look gorgeous.
Awesome.
Also, another thing we can do, let's move the bag over. We can add themed belt. Kind of complements this outfit great. We have feathers, we have theme festival. I think it just kind of goes great together.
Totally. Love it.
I love it.
But I need something to keep the sun out of my eyes.
You're absolutely right, and I think we have something for that. We have this great hat, which we also got from a thrift store.
Just a couple of bucks.
That complements it very well.
Oh, but we can't forget the most important thing we need at a festival, sunnies.
Please, these are the most important. Do not forget them.
And we will catch you at the nearest fairgrounds.
Have you ever noticed someone who seems to just light up a room? That kind of beauty doesn't only happen skin deep. Our thoughts have a direct knock-on effect to the emotions that we feel and the actions that we take. If our thoughts are unhelpful, it's going to be really difficult to look and feel beautiful. So what do we do when we have unhelpful thoughts? Well, the first thing we don't do is to begin judging them. Judgments create more unhelpful thoughts, which gets us into a loop of negativity, which is very difficult to get out of. So the first thing we do is check what's going on between the ears. Take the thought outside of yourself. Look down on it and observe it. Notice how it might be trying to help you, how it might be trying to protect you, even if it's not going about it the best way possible. After that, it's important to remain detached from the thought. I do this in a number of ways. I write it down, I create a positive affirmation for myself, or my personal favorite, I like to make it into a ridiculous comedic theme song like, I suck and the whole world thinks I'm crap. My body just can't relax. Sorry. Now I don't take the thought so seriously anymore, and every time it happens, I get to dance.
Every woman wants flawless skin. Blemishes and dark spots can be a problem for many women, but knowing how to hide them is the key. I'm here with makeup artist and actress Jackie Nash. She's going to teach us how to properly apply concealer to hide these imperfections.
Okay, so first off, it's obviously very important to pick the correct shade even in concealers. You know, from the very start, we're going to be layering on different things, and you want to make sure that they're all in a piece to your skin tone. And usually what a good test is to do is that you want to have obviously things that you want to hide a little bit darker, because the things that are obviously a lot lighter, you're going to really want to look at. So we're going to start off less is more. So I usually look at what her skin tone looks like, and I compare it closest to the palette. I look at the palms of her hands and the tops of her hands, and I start dabbling a little on the hand to first see. So this is a little bit lighter than her skin, and this is a little bit darker. So these two together is going to look like a good shade for her. So again, less is more. We're gonna take some blemishes and dark spots that we see on her face here, and we're gonna lightly dab. Now again, just less is more, and not wiping sweeps. We don't want lines on the face, just little dabs to start out.
Do you recommend that all women test out their concealer on the back of the hand before actually taking it to the face?
I do, because I feel like, you know, you see your skin tone and you think you know the shade. The shade on the palette here looks a lot different once it's actually on the skin. So the palm, like I showed obviously a difference, the palm is so much lighter, so that's why it's good to do the outside, because the tops of your hands and your face receive a lot of sun, and usually around the same amount. So it's a good judgment of what your face's skin tone is.
I did not know that.
And I'm mixing the two together to kind of get that perfect color. And I'm just doing light dabs. Starting off with a dab, not too much. And now that I've got a good amount on all the blemishes and darker spots, I'm gonna spread out those dabs. Again, I'm still dabbing the brush. I'm not making these big sweeping movements because that's gonna be really obvious on the face. So these little dabs, I'm gonna use my little finger here too, really lightly rubbing them in, because it's all about just hiding that blemish.
Is there a particular brush I should use, or are fingers okay?
Finger, I actually like the finger. I'm doing like the foundation brush, a smaller one. The larger foundation brush is what I use for foundation, and I use the smaller one for concealer, but I actually really love the finger, or I use one of the little foam ones here and I just lightly dab, because you're just slowly blending it in the face. Because again, the problem I always see is you'll see a girl with foundation, or her whole, you know, her skin will look nice, but then you see these obvious little dark bumps, or a little proof that she's put way too much cover up on certain areas. You don't want to be able to notice any of the blemishes you've covered up.
When do you know that you're fully blended in? Like, how do I know when my concealer is where it should be?
When you literally look like you don't have it on.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, if, like right now I'm still seeing a little bit on you. It's not ready yet, but we're getting close. And again, it's just lightly dabbing the different colors to see. That's why it's good to have a concealer palette that gives you some options. Just buying one general concealer might not be the best bet, because some blemishes might be a whitehead or something very bright that needs darkening. You might have a dark spot that actually does need the little bit lighter concealer to lighten it up. So it's better to have a little bit of options that you can mix and match with.
So it's kind of like clothing and accessories. You don't want to just settle on one, you want to give yourself a couple of options.
Exactly, and depending on the time of year, you might have received more sun that week, so you're a little bit more tan. So trying to find this foundation, like some say that is the perfect complexion to you, is a little bit harder to do, because you're never exactly the same shade or skin tone every day, you know, depending on the weather conditions, or, you know, you were sick and you haven't been in the sun for 3 days. That's going to take into factors. So it's good to just mix and match and really just see something on you that is completely blended in. Like right now, if we look at you, we should not be seeing any visible makeup, yet your blemishes are appearing much more faded and tamed out.
That's always the goal.
Yes.
I'm an oily skin girl. Blemishes are not my friend, but they seem to always be around.
Yes. And you know what? They're gonna happen, but again, with just proper concealing, they'll be definitely minimized.
Nice.
So again, if you kind of look at her here, now we still have foundation and other things to do, but you'll see that these things are starting to look a lot less prominent. And again, it's just this light dabbing motion. I wasn't painting the face with things, putting giant globs. This was just light little dabs to slowly get that skin tone even. And then we're on to the next step.
Awesome. Can you spot any blemishes? Don't answer that. If you want to get in contact with Jackie to find out some of her awesome makeup tips, hop onto her website at jackie-nash.com. But not the word dash, the punctuation mark.